Hey, this is Bill Powers, and I appreciate watching a video on tailgating, oftentimes referred to as following too closely. Sometimes it's unsafe movement, sometimes it's reckless driving, and sometimes it's more serious than that if someone got seriously hurt or killed. Tailgating is one of those offenses that sounds so minor, and then you get your insurance bill and you're like, whoa, wait a second, time out, I have a clean record. Why are my rates going through the roof? What we like to do when we see a tailgating charge, or any type of traffic violation for that matter, is to stop and take a snapshot of where you are with your motor vehicle points, as may be defined by the general statutes and DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, Department of Transportation Division of Motor Vehicles, and insurance points under the Safe Driver Incentive Program. And we like to consider the snapshot of driving school, maybe prior unsafe movements, prior wrecks, whether you received a PJC, even if you didn't go to driving school, your age, the status of your license, the type of license you have. And I don't think I've talked about this on the website yet, but there are differences between how some of these things are applied. And in fact, there are different point values depending on what type of license you have. So in North Carolina, are you a Class A or B, as in Alpha or Bravo, versus a Class C, which most people just have the ordinary driver. So if you drive a truck for a living over a certain weight, you drive a big rig, dump truck, something like that, you may have a Class A or B license. And what may be a no-brainer for normal, ordinary person like me is a big deal for a commercial driver. And Charlotte's got, well, let me think. We've got 85, 77, and 74 going through town. Those are the big roads. Then we got 277, which is kind of around the center, Highway 16, 485. We see a lot of truck trafficking, and Charlotte also is the home of a lot, or traditionally has been for years, a center for trucking traffic. So we see a lot of trucking cases. And because of that, we got the DMV people out there on the road. Can't remember if they're Highway Patrol now or DMV. They used to be separate, and I think they've now merged. So I think the Highway Patrol is handling those cases now. At least that's what you see in court mostly. So if you're a commercial driver, how we react to a ticket and the options available to you may be worse or less options available. So for example, if you CDL, by statute, you may not be eligible for something called a prayer for judgment. With a CDL, just being charged with driving while impaired, even if you're driving your individual vehicle, could revoke or take away your right to drive a truck for a living, even without a hearing. So you can keep your C license, but they take away your A or B. Gracious, it's complicated. That's why lawyers exist. That's why we do what we do. We handle a lot of traffic tickets every year. I personally enjoy doing it because we get a sense of accomplishment from it. They're complicated, they're intellectually stimulating, and we know that we're helping people understand the system. We're helping people. And that's why our telephone number is 704-342-HELP. Free consultation. Confidential consultation. We'll give you the skinny on what we think the most appropriate way is to proceed. So give us a ring.